Welcome to Current Density with Jayden. In today's episode, we are exploring something simple yet incredibly powerful: kindness and gratitude. In a world where stress, competition, and negativity often takes center stage, we sometimes overlook how small acts of kindness and grateful mindset can have a profound impact on our mental well-being.
Science tells us that practicing kindness doesn't just help others, it actually improves our own happiness, reduces stress, and even benefits our physical health. Gratitude, too, has been linked to better sleep, stronger relationships, and overall life satisfaction.
So, today we'll be discussing how kindness and gratitude shape our mental health, why they are sometimes overlooked, and how we can incorporate them more into our daily lives. Let's get started. Jayden, have you ever experienced a situation where someone's kindness made a difference in your day or life?
Yeah, so I had a close friend that I met in middle school. I only knew him for one semester, but in that short time, he was very kind and nice to me from the very beginning. And in the competitive environment of South Korean education, where I was back then, it's really hard to genuinely support each other because you're taking all these exams and it's a very, very competitive environment. But I think him and I really did get along very well and encouraged each other to study harder and do better things. Before I left Korea to study here, we went to a classical music concert because we were both in the orchestra, and we watched a movie together, and it was a really uplifting experience whenever I had conversations or did activities together with them.
Why do you think people sometimes hesitate to show kindness even when they want to?
I think people often hesitate to show kindness because maybe they fear being misunderstood or worry that their efforts might be rejected. In a world where we sometimes feel pressure to look strong or self-reliant, it can be difficult to let our guard down and sometimes be vulnerable and show that kind of kindness to other people. There's also common worry about overstepping personal boundaries or coming across as intrusive. These concerns can hold people back sometimes from extending a smile or a helping hand.
Okay.
So is there scientific evidence that kindness and gratitude actually improve mental health? So how does it work?
Yes, there is a strong scientific evidence supporting the benefit of kindness and gratitude on mental health. Studies have shown that acts of kindness stimulates the release of oxytocin, often called a love hormone, which helps build social bonds and increase feeling of trust and connection. Additionally, kindness triggers the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and serotonin, and neurotransmitters that help boost mood and reduce anxiety. Dr. Sonja Libormersky, a psychologist and researcher on happiness, found in her studies that simple act of kindness like writing a thank you note or helping a stranger significantly increase long-term happiness. Similarly, Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, discovered that people who actively practice gratitude report lower level of depression, better sleep, and stronger immune system. Jayden, do you think small acts of kindness like smiling at a stranger or holding the door open can really make a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. I think small acts of kindness can have it doesn't seem apparent, but it can have an enormous impact on people's day-to-day lives. A gesture as simple as smiling at a stranger can brighten their mood or make them feel seen, which can be especially meaningful if they're going through a hard and difficult time. Holding the door open, like making a small compliment, quick words of encouragement, they cost you like little, right? They cost you almost nothing, and it takes minimal effort, yet like that kind of gestures, those kinds of gestures can linger in someone's memory long after the moment has passed. These small positive interactions can definitely accumulate over time, contributing to a more supportive and compassionate community.
So, as you said, gratitude is often linked to happiness. Do you actually practice gratitude in your daily life? How?
So I do practice gratitude from time to time. I try to think of the things that I'm thankful for, like good health. I have a house to live under. I have great parents. I go to a nice school, and I can get the education that I need. I consciously acknowledge this from time to time, and by acknowledging them, it makes me like more aware of the positive things in my life, and sometimes that's what keeps me going through difficult times. Just knowing that I have all these great things that I should be thankful for that is going around in my life. Over time, even if you're in a difficult situation, it can reassure you a little bit and just encourage you to keep moving forward, I think. Yeah.
So, in today's fast-paced world, do you think people prioritize success over kindness?
Yes, I think in today's fast-paced world, there's certainly a tendency to prioritize achievements, your status or like financial success, and oftentimes that's at the expense of kindness, right? With if you go on social media, there's like highly successful people and like billionaires telling their stories, and people often tend to view productivity. Like productivity is above everything else. You got to do things efficiently. You got to make good progress. But it's easy for people to become too zoned in on those kinds of things. I believe like many individuals still recognize that kindness is crucial for genuine connection, and if you want to really have that fulfillment in your life, those kinds of actions can lead to long-term well-being, right? So it is very important, I still believe, to make sure that you're succeeding, right? That's the thing that you want to do. But then again, you cannot forget the emotional kind of kindness and be good to society and those kind of things. Because if you stop thinking about that, then I think that the way you live is going to get more dry and mundane, So I think we should prioritize both of them as much as we can.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, how do you think schools and communities can encourage more kindness and gratitude among students?
So schools and communities are places where you learn subjects, right? You learn math, English, social studies. But the more important purpose of schools, right? People say that, hey, we have all these like great AIs that can teach like people whatever they want, whenever they want. Why do we still have schools? Well, the important function that schools have that's different from like individualized like learning on a computer kind of thing, is that school is where you also practice to interact with each other socially, because ultimately school is preparing young kids and teenagers for the adult world, for society, right? And if your skills are good, but you can't get along with others, then you're not going to make much progress in society. So you have to practice how to deal with conflicts, how to collaborate with people. So in teaching that, you have a bunch of students together in one building, you have group projects. School is a way to practice those real-life social interactions. And the values of kindness and gratitude, I think they're definitely embedding in how they teach and how they, allow students to collaborate and that kind of stuff. And if a conflict does happen, then the teachers will guide them on how to resolve it with, kindness and empathy.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
If these values are consistently reinforced in a supportive environment, they become the core principles that students carry into adulthood.
So you cannot succeed in a certain industry without talented people around you. So you cannot be at the top of the world alone, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have people around you who support, right, each other.
Yeah. Some people say that gratitude journals and daily affirmations can change the way we think. Do you think these methods are effective?
Absolutely. So gratitude journals and daily affirmation help rewire the brain to focus on positive experience rather than dwelling on stress or negativity. Neuroscientific research suggests that repeatedly practicing gratitude strengthens neural pathways associated with optimism and emotional resilience. Dr. Rick Hansen, the neuropsychologist, explains that our brains have a negative bias, meaning we naturally focus more on problems and threats. However, by intentionally practicing gratitude, such as writing down 3 things you are thankful for each day, we train our minds to notice and appreciate positive experience, which can significantly improve overall well-being. Right?
Yeah. So I feel like in today's society, do you think that there's less acts of like public kindness or like those random acts of kindness than what it was like a couple of years ago, or I don't know, compared to the past? Do you think that it's a bit more like just people going about on their own day sort of thing these days?
Yeah, I agree. So when I was little, I like the word neighborhood. I like the word the neighborhood, but I don't feel any neighborhood in our daily lives. So you don't even know who lives next door. You don't even know their names or how many people are there in your next house. So I think our society getting more like conservative in some ways.
Oh, okay.
So you don't open too much. You are not trying to open your life to the random people or even the neighbors.
Yeah, it's becoming like very, very like individual.
Individualized. Yeah, it's very it is very individualized.
Yeah. So I was going through like some lists of like past random acts of kindness kind of thing, and WestJet back in 2013 had a famous commercial. Well, it was a commercial on like a real event that happened. So they built on Christmas Day. They had a kiosk in one of their like flights, and then the kiosk showed like a virtual Santa Claus kind of thing.
Okay.
So they had like a Santa Claus live streaming to that screen.
Okay.
And then like people scanned their boarding passes, and like children got to like talk with Santa. And Santa asked the families, what kind of gift do you want to have for Christmas, right? Well, they said like toys, dolls, like iPads, a huge TV, one family said. And then while they were saying that, it was being live streamed to to Santa's office.
Okay.
And all the WestJet employees were actually writing all that down.
Oh.
And then the flight took off, right?
Yeah.
And in that couple hours' time, the WestJet volunteers, there were like 130, 150 of them, they ran out to the stores and actually bought every single
Items.
every single gift that the families requested. They bought them, they brought it back to the airport, they wrapped all of them, they put name stickers on them based on the boarding pass information
Okay.
that they had. And then they wrapped all of them and then put them on the baggage claim as the plane was landing.
Wow.
So when the passengers like got there, and then the bags were supposed to come out, but there were like gifts coming out of the carousel. And then everyone was like so
Wow,
yeah,
that's
so
so
shocked
brilliant.
and overjoyed. Yeah, I think
even
yeah.
big TV.
Yeah, even the oversized, the TV came out on the oversized baggage claim. And I was like, wow, like that was in 2013.
Oh.
Right? That's a really good way to market your airline, and like bring some holiday cheer and give everyone like free gifts, and like those kinds of things are like so like heartwarming to see, right?
Oh, right.
I don't know. I don't think people or companies would do these kinds of stuff more commonly nowadays. I know like this is a huge operation.
When I was young, like even when I say hello, like 안녕하세요 to the in your the other people very nicely, and that they even gave me a allowance, money. Oh, you're so good boy, like that. You are so kind, like that. And then they even offer me cash. It's you cannot see that much in these days. Right. Okay. So that's wrap up today's episode of Current Density with Jayden. So kindness and gratitude are simple yet powerful tools that can significantly improve our mental and emotional well-being. Whether it's through a small act of generosity, of taking a moment to appreciate the good in your life. These habits can create lasting positive change.
If you enjoyed today's discussion, share this episode with a friend, and let's spread more kindness together. I think, especially in today's situation, we all need, a boost of joy, a boost of kindness in our lives.
Exactly.
If you have any thoughts or personal experiences with gratitude and kindness, we'd love to hear from you. So thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay kind, stay grateful, and take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.